Welcome to the Chef on a Mission show. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Jamie, what is today's mission?
Today we are talking about the guests being right.
The guests being right. You know, because we're in the restaurant industry, everybody always says the guest is always right, the guest is always right, the guest is always right. And I really have to go against that. The guest is not always right. Most times the guest is right, and even if the guest is wrong, the guest is still right. But there's certain times where the guest is just not right. And but let's talk about you had a recent situation, Jamie, where somebody ordered asparagus from you, and they didn't really order asparagus, ordered something else.
Yeah, so they asked me for a grilled asparagus, and when I brought the grilled asparagus out, they said, "Oh, well, we ordered the calamari."
Right. Now you're very good on orders because you repeat every order.
Always.
You repeat. So the guest was clearly wrong.
And one of the other servers heard him order a grilled asparagus as well.
Right. So, but at this point, if there's no sense in arguing with the guest, there's no sense in even pointing out to the guest. At this point, the guest is right.
Right.
This is an example of the guest is wrong, but the guest in our eyes is right now because we have to make it right without alarming them, without saying anything, and that's the bottom line. So in situations like that, the guest is right.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
And you just bring them what they wanted. Just apologize, take it away, and bring them what they wanted.
But there's certain times where the guests, like I've had on a very, very infrequent basis, I've had to call the police on a certain guest. I've had to kick people out of the restaurant. These people are clearly wrong. Guests, just because you're a guest in a restaurant or my restaurant or any restaurant doesn't give you the right to abuse people. And I think because that is where the guest is totally 100% wrong. You have no right to abuse staff, to abuse the owners. You have no right to go online and totally bash something when you haven't taken the steps to resolve it. We had a situation here years and years ago where the guy was just so rude to you, wasn't he? This was for restaurant week.
Absolutely not. It wasn't fair. It was completely wrong.
It was for restaurant week. The guy was complaining. He complained that we were charging him for bottled water. Well, of course there's a charge for bottled water. It's on our menu. What do you think? We just have a bottled water ferry that just shows up and just delivers cases of bottled water to us? I mean, so there's sometimes where the guest just does not have a grip on reality. And this guy was rude. And you got me out of the kitchen. And I had to come out to him and I say, I think you left your manners outside. Would you like to get your manners and come back inside? Because there's no reason for somebody to be downright abusive and rude. There was another time here 4 or 5 years ago. It was a big table. It was for lunch. It was maybe a 12 or 15 top. And one of the guys ordered a burger. I don't think you were here, Jamie, for it. But all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, the guy screams out loud, "Where's my burger?"
I was not here, no.
Alarms the whole dining room. The order was only in for 20, 25 minutes. It's a 15 top. It takes time to get food out, to orchestrate everything in the kitchen. By no means was the food taking long at all, but the guy screamed and alarmed the whole dining room. I'm sorry, you have no right to do that. You are totally 100% wrong. Pull the server inside and say, "Hey, I'm in a hurry. I need to get my food. I'm just wondering on my food. I'm just checking on my food." Don't scream and yell. There was another situation here from a guest on Thanksgiving Day. He was here with his elderly mother. She was what? She must have been 95?
She was 90.
She was in her 90s. And this guy, I was in the stairwell coming down the stairs and I heard him cursing out loud in front of everybody at you.
At me, yes.
F this, F that.
He was not happy because he felt that we were rushing him out of here, where we're certainly not rushing him out of here, and we certainly weren't telling him to hurry up, and he was not happy about that.
He said he was French and this and that, and his mother was even upset at him.
She was upset at him.
She was upset at him. She wanted another glass of wine, and he called her a drunk.
Yes.
He called his 90-year-old mother a drunk, and she was so nice to you.
Oh, she was like, "I am so sorry. He doesn't like women."
He doesn't like women is what she clearly said, and this guy was just, above and beyond abusive. He was upset when you gave him his check because he thought you were rushing him again. You got his coat ready for him because it was cold out. You hung it on his chair,
And I wanted him to feel like when he was ready to leave, he should just be able to leave and go.
And you actually personally took care of the table after there was a problem.
I most certainly did, and I gave him so much
tip-top
attention.
service.
Absolutely.
Left no tip.
Left no tip.
And then I saw him the next day in line at skiing, an
Yes,
hour
you
and
did.
15 minutes away. I saw him at the ski slopes at Hunter Mountain. And I said, do I know you? Were you in Ellenville yesterday? He goes, yeah, I was at your restaurant. And it sucks and this and that and this. And I had a very nice conversation. I had a very calm conversation with him when I should have told him to F off. And I should have told him how it was. And I said, you had no reason to yell out loud like that. I said, we're not here to make people upset. Okay, so if you're from France and you have a different way of eating, just tell us you don't want to be rushed and this and that. Don't just go off and he just didn't get it, and he still went on Yelp and totally bashed us. Gave us a 1-star review, totally bashed us. I'm sorry. Guests don't have a right to feel entitled. You have no right to go into a place and feel that you're high and mighty and entitled. That doesn't fly with me. I'm sorry, but the guest is not always right. In the first case where the guest was wrong, where he ordered the asparagus versus the calamari, I'm sorry. We will take care of that, no problem. I'll apologize all day long. I'll admit it as our mistake and just smile about it and suck it up, because that's what we do. And that's the kind of thing that, okay, where some restaurants get upset, right, Jamie?
Yeah.
Well, you ordered that.
Right.
I have it down here. The guest doesn't want to hear that. It was a mistake on somebody's part. It was a miscommunication, misunderstanding. And when you have that precautionary thing where you repeat everybody's order, and you're so good at it. But at that point, it's not worth arguing. At that point, we suck it up. Okay, the guest is right. We'll make everything right. But just because this mentality that people think, well, I'm the guest and I'm paying and I can do what I want, does not fly with us. And it very, very, very rarely happens. Like the one Yelp reviewer a couple weeks ago, who everything was fine. They ate everything. She asked to be moved, and all of a sudden we go back on the cameras and we find out that she's totally lying about the times that she was in. She was waiting for her food. She said there was a hair in her food, which they ate all the food. We watched everything on the video cameras, and she basically said she waited an hour for her food. Meantime, she walked in and left the restaurant in an hour and 1 minute. So there's no way it's impossible she waited an hour for her food.
Right.
When she was only in the restaurant for an hour and 1 minute. So you don't it's just because you're a guest in a place and you're upset doesn't give you the right to go online and lie about the place. You can say things, but don't state factual things where it's a downright lie. As a business owner, I have a right to protect myself against that. This is my livelihood. This is how we make our money. And now that the internet is blown up, and Yelp and TripAdvisor and all these online reviews and YouTube, anybody can be a critic. Everybody has a platform now to state how they feel, and sort of Yelp and these other review places kind of make people feel entitled. That all of a sudden I'm a reviewer and I've done 25 reviews and I'm an elite reviewer and this and this and this. And they go online to really make themselves look better. There was really nothing legitimately wrong with her meal. There was no hair in it. She said she wore her gloves in the dining room because the dining room was so cold. On video camera, she's not wearing her gloves. So it was a total exaggeration of this, because here's a person that feels entitled. Just because you feel entitled doesn't give you the right to bash anybody. Have a conversation, If she would have came to us and said, you know what, there was a hair in my food. I really didn't like this. The burrito was dry, whatever it was. What was the first thing we would have done, Jamie?
We would have gotten her something new.
Got her something new, or not charge her. Right?
Yep.
Instead of her going online and causing all this drama, it could have easily been solved right then and there. But people don't know how to communicate is the one problem. They just, they don't know how to communicate, and it's like, well, I can't talk to somebody face to face because I can't text message my waiter that something's wrong with my food. So what they do is they go online after the fact that they left and don't give anybody a chance at the restaurant to make it right. How many times do we ask, Jimmy? We quality check every single table. How is everything? Is everything cooked okay? And this and that. And people just shake their heads and say yes, 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 right?
Oh, they sure do. And they won't tell you what's really wrong.
And then all of a sudden there's a major problem when we were there to solve your problem. We were there at the table, but people just don't know how to speak up, and they know how to speak up on a different platform when it's not face to face. They don't want confrontation, but they're willing to go online and start that confrontation. So, as a guest, it's your right to get food that's cooked properly.
No restaurant sets out to make a bad experience.
No, they don't. But if as a restaurateur, if you don't give me the chance to fix it, then I can't fix it. And it's not fair that you go online and bash me.
We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all, we're relying upon staff to help us run a restaurant. And not everybody does things the way that you're going to like it or the way that the owners are going to like it.
100%.
So everybody's human.
Everybody's human. And just because, and these people think they're entitled. And that's when I have a problem with people that feel they're entitled and that they're better than us. And they talk down and they're demeaning to us, just like all those examples that I gave. I'm sorry, that's where the guest is totally 100% wrong. And I'm not afraid to say that they're 100% wrong, because it's my business, it's my livelihood. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass this, share it.